Welcome to All Things Retreat Podcast. I'm Holly Porter, your host and CEO of Retreat R&R. With over 25 years of experience in designing transformative retreats, I'm here to share insights and inspiration to help you create extraordinary experiences. Whether you're a pro or just starting out, you'll find valuable ideas here. Enjoy the ride. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome, everyone. So glad that you're here joining us. Today's guest is Anthony Dahya. He's the founder of Champion Mindset Collective and AI Workflow Agency. After overcoming personal setbacks and career transitions, Anthony met his mission to help people build resilience, gain tongue-tied here, gain clarity, and move forward with confidence. Today, he helps entrepreneurs combine mindset, strategy, and AI-powered systems to simplify their businesses, reduce overwhelm, and create more freedom and lasting success. So please welcome me and joining Anthony to the show today.
Thank you, Holly. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, so happy to have you. So we met, I don't know, has it been a couple months since we've met?
Yeah,
I think so. And I was on your show and now you're on my show, and this is just how the world goes around, right? But
absolutely.
I was so impressed by Anthony's workflow, what he was doing. And it just blows my mind, as everybody else, I'm sure, what AI, every day I learn something new that AI can do for us. And it's amazing how you just made everything automated. I love automation, so I've loved that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today, but, Let's go. I got a few questions for you, and are you ready for them?
Yeah. By the way, AI is going to be currently it's going to be the worst it is right now. It's going to get way better. So
wow. Yeah. Well, I heard just this week. So I've been having conversations with people in the retreat industry, with several on the call this week, and twice I heard that the retreats are going to even blow up even more is because AI is going to get so good that we're not going to know if it's real or not. And the only way we're going to know is literally being in front of somebody, eyeball to eyeball.
100%.
If it's real.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Human connection
we're already
is so
getting
important. There. Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. So, okay. So what does having a champion mindset, because I know you talk a lot about mindset, mean to you personally, and how has your own journey shaped that belief?
Yeah, so champion mindset to me is all about building the resilience over time. It's not something that you get like instantly. It's every struggle, every adversity that you go through is shaping your resilience. It's building that resilience, strengthening strengthening that resilience. And so a lot of people will shy away from hard moments or difficult situations. But as a champion, you lean into those situations because they are the way to expand and to grow and to be the version that you want to be. My experience, I'll try and keep this short. So I went through, do you want me to explain my situation?
We like stories here.
Yeah. So I was, I was born here in New Zealand, and at the age of 5, my parents separated, and at the age of 7, I got sent to India to an ashram, a boarding school, which I call it a cross between army and prison because it literally was barbed wire fences. You weren't allowed out. I didn't know my mum until I was 21, and I saw my father maybe once a year. So for me, the narrative was I've been rejected, I've been abandoned, I'm not loved, I'm not cared for. And it was, at first I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I'm in this nice place and I've got like these 1,000 boys around me. And but then the reality kicked in and I was like, the driver's not coming back. He's just dropped me off and he's gone. But there was a lot of there was some sexual abuse from other students, and so that was interesting. And then just challenges that I went through. But then what happened was in my teenage years, I was a very angry kid, and what happened was I just got to a point where people were telling me I was useless, I wasn't going to amount to anything, and so on. Excuse me. Yeah, people were saying that you weren't you're useless, you're never going to amount to anything, and I started to take that on board. And basically, what happened was I tried to kill myself at the age of 15.
Mm.
And of course, I was unsuccessful. It was like that Castaway movie where he tries everything and nothing ever worked, right?
You're supposed to
Um,
be here.
yeah, exactly. And so something changed in me. And when someone said to me, "You can't do this and you're not going to be able to do this," all of a sudden something internally said, "No, I'm not going to believe this. I'm going to back myself. I'm going to believe in myself." And so from that age of 15 to 18, I started to build this more of a positive and mindset of backing myself and believing in myself.
Hmm.
Long story short, I go into the Christian world, became a Christian, started singing in the church worship team and this and that. But what happened was I still hadn't healed from any of the trauma that I'd gone through, and
Yeah.
it's taken me about 40 something years to get to that point where I actually did the work to heal.
Yeah.
I went through something like 24 restructures and 4 redundancies in my corporate career. And every one of those took me back to my 7-year-old self, feeling abandoned and rejected. And, when you're going through the restructures and redundancies, for a lot of people, their identity is tied to their job title or what they do. And when
Yeah.
they get let go, it's really hard on them. So what I had to learn was to basically change my identity. And I'll come to that story shortly. But in my personal life, I went through many like relationship breakups and things like that because I didn't know what love was. I didn't know how to be loved. I didn't know how to love someone. So for me, it took, like I said, 40 something years to get to the point where I actually could do the work and heal and become the version of myself that
Yeah.
is unconditionally loved. I am loved. I am love, and
Yeah.
everything I do now is from a place of love. So the champion mindset is all about really taking those adversities and being able to the see the positive sides in there and go that, hey, everything I'm going through now is setting me up for a better comeback in life. Now,
Yeah.
as I talked about the identity side of things, I went to Tony Robbins' 2024 event at the beginning of the year, and he said one thing about your identity is everything. It shapes who you are. And what I realized was that for a very long time, redundancy I went through, I still had that employee identity. And as
Mm.
soon as I shifted that from employee to business owner,
Yeah.
everything changed.
Isn't that amazing? How, I mean, a
Mm,
shift can happen that quickly. Snap of a finger.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Absolutely.
One
The thing
decision.
is, we have a choice
Mm.
and we have to make a choice. We have to make a decision. Am
Mhm.
I am I going to continue going down this path of, whatever you're going through, or am I going to make a choice today to do something different that's
Yeah.
going to shape my future? Because you only have the present moment, and you can make a choice right now, and your life is going to change. But if you don't change, nothing's going to change.
Yeah. No, it's so true. That's so good. Well, let's jump to a little bit about your AI workshops too, because
Mm,
I know you have
mm,
both businesses. So if people are listening, and I was talking about AI, and then all of a sudden we jumped into mindset. In
yeah.
case you're confused, you have two different companies. You can talk about those, but I just wondered how your AI workflow agency how does how do I want to ask you this? How did AI Workflows Agency grow out of the Wild Champion Mindset vision, and
Yeah.
why do you believe the mindset matters when starting a business like AI? I
Yeah.
guess that's what I want to
So
ask.
I'll go back to 2023. So 2023, I was going through my third redundancy, and I decided to build. I left the organisation and went into life coaching, and then 6 months into that journey, I started the Champion Mindset Collective. Now, the foundation about Champion Mindset Collective is about being the change in the world that you want to see. And the collective is because I can change my world, Holly, you can change your world, but together we can change the world together, right? And
Yeah.
so, because we're all connected conscious in the collective conscious. And then in 2024, I went through my fourth redundancy and I was like, that's it, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. So I made a decision to start AI Workflows Agency. Initially, both these brands were separate, and I was like, okay, well, what do I do? So at the beginning of this year, I wanted some clarity into where I'm going with these two brands, and
Right.
so what I decided to do was to integrate them, and so there was a thing called there was a framework called the Champion OS, the Champion Operating System, that sits between both brands. The Champion Mindset Collective is the authority, the credibility, the mindset, the clarity side of it, the leadership, the resilience, all that stuff, right?
Hmm.
And then the AI workflows is the capability and the execution side of things. But you can't have, like at the moment in the AI space, a lot of business owners or a lot of entrepreneurs, they're just chasing shiny tools.
Yeah.
But they've got no clarity around the problem they're trying to solve. So
Right.
the first thing you've got to ask yourself is, do you have a AI first mindset? Do you have a mindset that's healthy? Do you have clarity around where you're going? Right? Because if you don't know where you're going, if you don't know the direction you're going in, you're just going to be flip flopping and going wherever you want.
Yeah.
So once you have the strong mindset and the clarity of where your business is going, then in the AI workflows, I do what we call clarity assessments, where I take them through 6 different dimensions of their business, and we do answer a whole lot of questions, which then gives them an idea of where their business is at. Then we look at, okay, how can AI and automation play a part in this business? It's part of the strategy of your business. It's not separate. So how can it be a vehicle to move you forward? So we look at things like, where is the business owner being a bottleneck in their own business?
Yeah.
Where have you got repetitive tasks that you can automate? So
Right.
these are the kind of mindsets and clarity you've got to have. Most businesses don't even know what process they've got. They don't know how, if they're efficient.
Mhm.
And so, processes can be made up of workarounds and a whole lot of different things. So, it's important to get clear on where you're going, understand where the bottlenecks are, where
Yeah.
AI could help you, and then systematically just working through that, incrementally, not doing a big bang approach, just test, measure, do
Yeah.
something else, test, measure, do something else.
And
Yeah,
most of our listeners are retreat leaders because that's our industry is the retreat industry. But that's pretty broad because you can be a retreat leader in about anything.
100%.
So a lot of them are business owners, and if you're running a retreat, it's a business. I mean, I hope it's a
Yeah,
bit not a hobby for people because then they're usually losing money, and we don't want to
yeah,
see that happening. But
no,
getting these systems and processes set up so that you're not bottlenecked as a retreat leader is so important. So thank you for bringing that up.
yeah, you're welcome.
But I know many businesses feel really overwhelmed, and especially retreat leaders get really overwhelmed, especially when they're not filling their retreats. And AI is overwhelming to them. They know they need to be using it and doing it. But what does moving from AI overwhelm to clarity and confidence actually look like in practical terms?
Yeah, so right now it's very confusing for a lot of business owners, and there's tools coming out every day, and you know every every person that's developing a tool and putting it out there is going, oh, you need this because this is going to help you do this, and then you end up with all these different fragmented tools everywhere you're paying subscriptions coming out of the out of out of the wazoo type thing.
Yeah.
So you've got this is where the clarity comes in. Is like, okay, what are the problems that I'm trying to solve, and then what are the best tools that are going to help me do that? It's like if you've got a problem in your house, you determine what the problem is, and then you work out which tools are going to help you. Are you going to use a screwdriver or a hammer? Well, you're not going to use a hammer to screw a screw
Right.
into a wall. You'll use a screwdriver. This is where once you work with someone like myself, once we get that understanding of where you want to go and what challenges are, where the problems are, what the pain points are, then we can understand clearly how AI can help automate or help you with your processes and your business. And
Yeah.
as I
And
said before, as I said before, it's not a separate strategy. It's actually part of your business strategy.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you don't have to be an expert in everything. You don't know, you don't have to know how to do everything. You just need to know who knows how and be
Yeah.
willing to let that
Yeah.
piece go and somebody else does the how.
Yeah. I've spent 30 years in technology in some of the large organizations like
Yeah.
Vodafone, also local government, transport council, and so on. So I had a lot of knowledge of dealing with at corporate level,
Right.
and that knowledge I can bring now to small businesses to help them, with my experience that I have. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you talk a lot about having a champion mindset. What does that actually mean? And can anyone develop one?
Yeah. We've all got the ability to be a champion in our life because we can champion ourselves. The question is, are you willing to do the hard stuff that's going to move you forward? And most people, fear is the thing that stops most people in the tracks. And
Yeah.
I see fear as a friend, a companion. And the more you lean into fear and start listening to the feedback it's giving you, and then do it anyway,
Hmm.
then right, because your brain is there to protect you. It's there to you know, make sure that you're not in danger. So it
Yeah.
will tell you things, but the other thing is your brain also can only handle about 40 bits of information.
Right.
So what it does is it deletes, generalizes, and distorts information. So it's telling you lies. So
Yeah.
half the time your brain's actually telling you lies. And so you've got to get clear, again, get clarity around where you're going. And it's not about the distance, it's about the direction that you're going in. Is Are you in the right direction? Are you going in the right direction? And also remember that every challenge that's going to come up is something that's going to help you grow and expand into a better version of yourself.
Yeah.
So if you take that mentality and go that a champion, if you have a champion hurdler, the hurdler is going to jump over the hurdle. They're not going to stop at the hurdle, right? When you're
Yeah.
driving your car and you come across a speed bump, you're not going to stop your car. You're going to slow down and drive over. So sometimes we do have to pause and reflect and go, okay, what's happening? And I think this is where we've got to get to a point where we're very aware. Awareness is the first step. We're aware and we are conscious about what's happening in our life. And if you see patterns appearing, then a champion would look at those patterns and try and break those patterns so that you're winning going forward. So yeah, that's to me a champion mindset is about embracing everything that comes to you, towards you, and it's there. Remember that it's there to shape you into the person that you're destined to be.
Yeah. Many retreat leaders, I feel like they want to wear every hat. They
Mm.
can do all this by myself, and I don't want to pay anyone. Whatever, every hat in their business. But where do you see mindset getting in the way of that from them growing?
Yeah, so I mean, look, all of us entrepreneurs, we all go through this, and I'm no different.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say that I've got it all sorted. I'm a one-man band, but what I've done is at the moment, but I am bringing other people on. But what you've got to do is look at where you, if you're a business owner or CEO or founder, and your time is worth, say, $500, and you're doing something that's worth $35 an hour, then are you actually spending your time in the right place?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
right. So it might be easier to get a virtual assistant or get some sort of assistant or use AI or automation to automate some things, so that you can then go and do what you meant to do, which is build your business, build relationships, and bring more people into your community. So I think often we try to hold on to things that we've when we started the business, and so what we've got to do is start letting go of things. And the more you let go and give tasks away to someone else, they own it and they will do it to the 100% of their ability. Whereas you may only be doing it to maybe 20% of your ability because you're scattered across many different things. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. How do you stay grounded with all the tools coming out? Like, how, for somebody that's just so overwhelmed with AI, what would you suggest they start with?
Yeah, so I've put my blinkers on because I don't want to be distracted by all the tools
Mhm.
that are coming out. And there's some amazing tools out there. But do I really need all of those tools right now?
Yeah.
No. Like I said before, you've got a whole tool belt of tools, but you're probably only going to just use a screwdriver or a
Yeah.
hammer, right?
Yep.
You're not going to use a chisel, you're not going to use a saw, and so on. So everything has its place and
Yeah.
time. And
Yeah.
so when you're first building your business, you want to put your blinkers on just like the horses do when they're in a horse race,
Yeah.
because they block out the other horses and they're focusing on the track ahead. And so you got to stay in your lane and just focus on that. And then other tools may come along down the track. But I personally, I use two platforms. That's it. I use ChatGPT as my ideation partner, and I use Lovable AI as my build partner. So ChatGPT knows all about me because I've been using it for 4 years now. And it knows everything about my business, so everything about Champion Mindset Collective. And I say, look, I've got this idea, I want to do this, and I ideate it with get to a point where I'm going, okay, I'm happy with this. And then I say, now give me the prompt to build this in Lovable, and then I go and build it. Now, there is a bit of technical knowledge required to do certain things, but I would start with, take one simple task that is taking a lot of time and ask AI to help you solve that task. And nowadays with the ChatGPT and Claude and all these different large language models, you can actually connect your Gmail account, your email accounts, and if you can get it to go and sort your mailbox, for example. Right? So, and then what you're doing is you're actually just chatting with one space, and then The other thing is a lot of people, business owners, carry a lot of knowledge in their heads. And if your staff or your team are asking the same question over and over and over again, then what you can do is you can build a knowledge base, put that in there, and the AI can be the front face, and the people can ask the AI and say, what would Holly do in this situation?
Smart. No, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready for some rapid fire?
Go for it.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Are you an early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Paper notebook or digital notes?
Digital notes.
One word that defines a champion.
Relentless.
What's one productivity habit that you can't live without?
That's an interesting one. Productivity habit. Staying focused on what you've got to do. Focus is everything. Where your energy goes, where your attention goes, your energy flows.
Absolutely. Well, Anthony, thanks. It's been such a pleasure having you on the show today. I hope I know I learned a lot, and I'm sure everyone else did too, but we're going to put all your information in our show notes so that they can reach you and ask you any more or find out more about you. But any last words? Yeah, just don't be scared. Don't be overwhelmed. Be clear about where you want to go. Remember, it's all about direction, and never give up. Just keep moving forward. I think it was Earl Nightingale said the definition of success is if you're moving forward, then you're successful. Yeah. And I'm going to add, do it scared. I don't care if you're scared. Do it scared. 100%. Feel the fear and do it anyway. That's right. Yeah. Yes. Fail forward fast. That's it. And fail often as well. Yeah. All the time. Yeah. Well, thank you again. And everybody, we will see you next time on the show. Bye for now. Thank you, Holly. You bet. Thanks for joining us on this episode of All Things Retreat. We hope you're leaving with new ideas, fresh inspiration, and the motivation to take your retreats to the next level. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. It helps us grow and reach more retreat leaders like you. And if you have any questions, topics you'd like us to cover, or just want to say hello, send us an email at info@weretreatrnr.com. Follow us on social media to stay connected and catch all the latest updates. Until next time, remember, great retreats start with great intentions. Let's make them extraordinary, one step at a time. Thinking about hosting a retreat? Before you dive in, let's make sure you're really ready. Grab your free Are You Retreat Ready checklist and find out if you've got everything in place from your purpose and pricing to your audience and agenda. Don't guess. Get clear. This quick checklist will show you exactly where you stand and what you need to make your retreat a success. Click the link below in the show notes to grab your gift and take the first step toward hosting with confidence.